Hello guys, it's Daria here, and today we're going to rumble about gouache. Well, so recently I've been watching some tutorials because, I haven't painted a lot lately, using gouache, and for some reason I thought maybe my skill was deteriorating, so I decided I need to watch tutorials, and most of them were like watercolor. Why don't you like this velvety texture? And so I thought, well, maybe it was something wrong with me. But then I've checked, and there are lots of ways of using gouache, and the way I use it, it's actually one of those ways, and why not? So here I'm going to show how I typically use gouache using this method, this technique of flat color plus going from darker shades, from shadows to highlights. So, shadows are actually one of those not very pleasant for filming stages, because it looks weird and you can't get the whole perspective of the picture, and it doesn't look very well. So here I'm making these cute apples. I start with the shadows, and then I put the base color, the mid-tone, which is the main color of the apples. Usually afterwards I go with highlights. But here, because we have lots of details, I want it to be a little bit smoother, so I will add highlights with color pencils. So it's actually not going to be fully finished painting, because I'm putting here only the painting stage. So the paints that I'm using here are Himi gouache, plus later I'm going to add some colors from Art Creation gouache. Both of those aren't professional. They are not considered to be professional gouache, but they get the job done. They are both affordable, and the color range, I would say it's really good. You can mix your own colors. Here I'm using rose beige from Art Creation, and I actually should have mixed my own beige color for the faces, but I was a little bit lazy, and I have a very difficult relationship with this rose beige. I think it probably has some issue, because the texture is way different from the rest of the paints, and I don't like it. It feels weird, and I should put the second layer on top. And so here is the biggest question of all the painting process: what should be the texture of gouache? So I like it to be creamy, so it would lay smooth on the surface, and preferably with one layer, because I'm impatient and lazy, and it is the awful combination of traits for the person who likes to paint. So I usually make it creamy, sometimes a little bit watery if I'm using it second hand. My cat is trying to destroy my little setup. while I'm recording, so never mind that. We are back to peaceful coexistence, and as for brushes, I usually use flat brushes of like medium size. It's either 4 or 5, so they're not like extremely big. And sometimes I use the round brush for the details, well, like these sparkles, but sometimes I just use the corner of the flat brush, which is also well possible if you use it well delicately, so it's also possible, yeah, to use it so. But for the like tiny details, I prefer the smaller round brush. Then I paint the leaves, well, the same way practically. First we go over the shadows and then we lighten it up, yeah, with the brighter color, which is actually once again the mix of Himi gouache and art creation gouache. Well, so actually don't like this approach when they say that it's the only way to paint, so you should do it like that or it's not going to be the correct way. Well, if it's working for you, I mean, like, why not? So this way of layering, well, it works for me very well, and I like the result, and apparently, well, my followers like the result, because why I've been doubting myself lately, because I started off with gouache. That was my primary medium, and then I've switched off a little bit more to digital and markers, but I decided to come back to gouache and concentrate more on my technique, and I do like it this way anyway, this flat coloring for illustration and a little bit more pronounced brush strokes if I want to add some texture. So here we are. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate any interaction, and here's the final result, and I hope to see you very soon in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!